Oh my
Woohoo!
gosh.
Did you like that?
Look at what you've done. That was awesome, Michelle. You've been
I
doing
have
a
been
lot of work.
playing with that. And it was so fun. I had shown you welcome everybody. I just gave Sharon a little surprise. I was working on that opening video for us and I'd shown her part of it. And I got a wild hair one night at like 10 o'clock at night. And I added the sparkly bits at the end. And I was so excited to show her. And I'm like, she's gonna love it. And I had to wait like a week to show it to her. And I've been so excited. I've been like a kid, like, I can't wait.
I do love it. That's that's so cool. I just couldn't stop smiling.
It
It feels
was so
good.
fun. So that's our new intro. So welcome everybody. Welcome,
Yes.
welcome. We're so excited to be here with you. Welcome to New Earth Rising. Oh, Dawn is here with us. Awesome.
Dawn. Mwah. Hey,
And
Dawn.
we are so excited to be here. We got some fun stuff to talk about. We're going to talk about staying safe and sane during this ascension progress. Christine is here too. Thank you, Christine. And the
Christine.
energies are really intense right now. And so we're going to talk about that. And we're also holding the children in our hearts, not just during the show, but we're bringing it to your awareness because we really, really want to be focusing on bringing all of the children into the light and to really wrap them in light and lift them into what I always think of as like into the hands of God. And so that's kind of the consciousness behind our show this month and maybe the whole year. You never know. And so again, we're so happy. I am MIchele Amburgey. I am the awakener, one of many. Chances are, if you're here watching this, whether live or a little bit later, you're an awakener too, because an awakener is someone who allows themselves to grow and to begin to expand beyond the given matrix and to begin to look into the unseen, the unknown, and to open hearts and open minds, starting with your own. And so if you're here, you're probably on that journey. And so we totally welcome you. And this is going to be so fun. And of course, I'm here with my co-shenanigator, Sharon, who I just love and adore. And we have so much fun. And so Sharon, I just, yay.
Yay. Oh, I love you too, Michelle, so much. We do have a lot of fun, and hopefully everyone out there that's watching is having fun with us too. And yeah, it should be when. For those who don't know me, I am Sharon Kumara, and I have a practice in the Portland, Oregon area as a psychic medium hypnotherapist. I specialize in past life therapy and also helping people to remember their contact experiences, that type of thing. Um, I also have an academy where I teach metaphysical courses, and I'm into the woo woo. Anything that's woo woo, I'm into it. I am there, front and center. So, so yeah. Uh, thank you for being here. And what Michelle, what you were talking about earlier with the January was trafficking, human trafficking awareness month. It should be awareness day every moment of the day. And what I found on one of my feeds on Telegram was that there's a channel on Telegram that has made a documentary called hashtag 31, I think,
Yeah.
where they list, right? So you know about it. They list in every day they're listing what could be a trafficked child that we don't even recognize. And it's really good. I would follow them if you're on Telegram, or they probably have Facebook group or something, and you can read from date. They put a new one out every day, each day, where you might have come across a trafficked child and you didn't even know it. Vacation homes. Apparently, Airbnbs are a good place to keep. Uh, One of the places where they keep trafficked people, trafficked children, and rent them out kind of thing, because it's a short-term stay hotels, those types of things. Yeah, so it's eye opening, definitely, where we don't really realize how prevalent it is around us, and it's kind of just there all over the place because so many children disappear
Yeah.
every year, but we don't really hear about it. So,
Yeah.
so
And
yeah.
the numbers are around 1,000,000 children every year just in the United States.
Hmm.
So when you start adding that up around, the world, that's a lot of
Right.
people. And part of, a lot of people are like, "Oh my God, it's so dark, it's so heavy, I don't want to wrap myself in that." But this is a moment for those of us who are the awakeners and who are the light workers, the healers, all that stuff, to hold this in the light and hold this in prayer and lift this into God for them to be helped. Because if we ignore the problem, it's not going to go away. And we've got to bring it into the light. We've got to bring it into the light of day. And it's being revealed, right? None of us
Mhm.
knew this stuff was going on, or the depth to which it was, the breadth to which it was, until, what, the last year, really
Mhm.
the last 6 months. And so that's an opportunity for all of us when this comes across your awareness, not to be afraid, not to be angry, not to get freaked out, but to lift these people, and especially the children. The children just, oh my God, but to lift them into the light of God or goodness or whatever your thing is, to help them, to help them. We want to be able to take this opportunity to do that. And that's why Sharon and I are doing it.
Right. Yeah. To help spread awareness because it's what else is more important
Mhm.
than protecting our children? That's
Yeah.
the most important thing we can do.
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, bless them all. Bless them
Right.
all. Let's start with the little prayer,
Yes.
shall we? You want to start?
Sure. Sure.
Okay.
Dear Lord, all that is, Creator, infinite intelligence, those that the true one God, and whatever name you go by, the nameless perhaps, we ask
Mhm.
that you protect and lift the children and anyone who is being trafficked. This is our special prayer. Is being trafficked and abused and is lost, um, and we ask that you help them, lift them up into your arms, and help keep them safe. Or anyone that is be on that timeline, please help keep them safe, and also lift up anyone that is involved, whether it be on either side
Mhm.
of the fight. Please lift them up into your arms too, and help them with clarity, with strength, to move forward into your light and your graces.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Thank you. We just call upon the pure light of love to fill the hearts and minds and souls of everyone who is involved with this trafficking and with any sort of abuse at all, that they be lifted, that they find that spark of God within them again, and that spark be reignited, that it lights their way, and that it releases them from the darkness that holds them. And Holy Ones, we know that when we ask these things, it's already done. It's already done. And we just say, so it is.
So it is.
And abracadabra, as we say it, so it is. I love abracadabra.
I love that too. That's a good way to end a prayer.
Yeah, I know, abracadabra. I always
Abracadabra.
make people giggle when I do that.
I want to just take out my wand when I say that.
Ring.
Yeah.
So we're talking about surviving the ascension. It's kind of crazy, Sharon.
It is. It's exciting, crazy. It's crazy exciting. Yeah.
Yeah,
So, this is the time, if you haven't already, to do your work because the it's this is the window. This is the window.
yeah,
And surviving, and we can do so much more than survive. Survive is just kind of, to me, like hanging on, for dear life.
white knuckling it.
I feel that we can do so much more than that, and
Absolutely.
mhm, and be definitely be strong and empowered from this, and knowing that we are here for a very, very big purpose,
Yeah.
and remembering that. And it does. We don't even have to know what that purpose is, but the fact that we're here during these times, that says it all.
Right. It says a
Yeah.
lot.
Mhm.
And one of the things that I do when I work with my clients and students, my clients usually end up becoming students, because when I do readings, I'm doing therapy and hypnotherapy and all that stuff, just like you do, right?
Right.
And it's always about bringing it back to love, when we're going through these hard times. And, we've got solar flares going off. We've got the Schumann resonance is off the charts. It's like we're
Mhm.
just getting this massive energy that's just filling us and expanding us. And today I was talking with a client and I was saying it's kind of like when you're trying to roll out pizza dough, and like you roll it out and it expands and it's like, "Eh," and then it's like, okay. And then we expand. And eh, we're just stretching and then we kind of come back in a little bit. We get a little
Mhm.
matrix energy. We're like, yeek. And then we expand. But every time we expand, we get a little bit bigger. And really, in that expansion, with the whole energy of that is love. Because I have a lot of people say, this is so great. You say, oh, it's great. Oh, you got the power. You're here for a reason, all this stuff. But what does it mean? And what do I do? And it's not really about what you do, it's what you choose to be. It's the energy that you're holding, right? And when you're holding that love energy, when you know that light within you, you know that divine connection, you then automatically are inspired to do what that energy guides you to do, right? And that's being in authenticity. And that's what this whole time is about in this ascension process and this awakening and the revelations and the apocalypse and
Mhm.
all this stuff is
Yeah.
finding who we are and being in that authentic space. And we've got this wonderful energy that's helping us. We're having what X flares coming off the sun right now. Thank God California is covered with clouds, or we might all be roasted.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
not
it's
really
pretty
how it works,
crazy.
but
I've been hearing about that too. A lot of flares.
yeah,
And I know my internet keeps going out big time. I was in a meeting last night, and I got dropped 3 times from the meeting.
yeah,
So, it's annoying.
it is
So,
annoying.
hopefully I don't get dropped tonight, but, I'll be back if I do somehow, some way. Yeah, and I think it's really important too, and I love that, knowing that we are love, and that's number 1, right? And relying on our inner guidance always
Yeah,
rely on our inner guidance. And, I find that we when we rely on our inner guidance and trusting it, then we have more inspiration to move forward. And instead of it being like, oh, I got to take care of this, I got to take care of that, your energy shifts into, you get to do these things. This is, you get
yeah,
in that creative mode, and it's exciting what you want to do. It's exciting to take care of your work. It's exciting to do things. It's exciting to go grocery shopping. Oh, I get to go grocery shopping today, or something, anything, doesn't matter
yeah,
what it is, even if it's a mundane task. And that excitement is around it because your frequency is higher and you're inspired to to walk through life in that energy, and it's so different than it being a a chore.
yeah,
Yeah. And I was, when I've had conversations with Yeshua, when I used to work in the, I may have shared this here, I don't remember, but when I used to work in corporate, and I'd ask him, how do you handle this? How do you handle a job or a career that sometimes is just, you just want to punch somebody in the face kind of thing, or hide wherever you are in your office or wherever it is. And he always showed me him sitting there doing whatever job it was, whether it was on a computer, or taking out the garbage, sweeping the floor, whatever it was, that he was happy within himself. So none of that mattered.
Yeah.
And he, whistle while you work kind of thing is what he was showing me. And he was just happy doing whatever he was doing. It didn't matter whether it was taking out the garbage. It was fun for him. It
Yeah.
was fun. Or, quoting a job or something like that. It was fun for him. He made it fun and made it exciting because he gets to do that and he puts that energy into it. And that helped me a lot.
Yeah, and one of the things too, and this is something that it keeps coming back around. Like it shows up for me and I understand it, and then it kind of goes out and it comes back, I understand it deeper. Is when you have that wonderful
Mhm,
connection to yourself, you understand that God is within.
mhm.
It's our divine nature to want to serve. But a lot of times we serve in the outer,
Yeah,
and it's like it takes sucks the energy out, right? It's a lot of take and not a lot of give. There's not a lot of, equal reciprocation
right.
when you're in that space. But when you have that inner space, you have that constant flow. So that doesn't matter, right? So you begin to be in that constant flow of service, but it's service to the divine. It's not service to the outer. And that creates a balance because you're always being infilled. And it makes it that, like what you're talking about, Sharon, the joy of just
Yes,
being, right?
yes.
Of just living, of just being a part of. I'm going to do this.
What?
Subscribe to our YouTube channel now.
Is that a commercial right in the middle of our show?
Yeah, it
Okay.
is. I'm learning commercials.
That's annoying.
It totally is.
It's annoying. Take that down.
Okay.
Hi,
Well,
Luann.
then here we'll do this.
Luanna. That's better, but it's still annoying. Maybe for a minute.
And I have you on here too. I put your. Oh, wait a minute, I didn't because I
Uh,
didn't find it. Oh my god, that's so funny. I wanted to put your channel up there, your website channel.
oh, okay. Well, that one you can leave.
Oh no, I don't know how to make it
Oh
stop.
no.
Because I use these on my thing when I wait a minute, where is it?
All right. Well,
There we
I'll keep
go.
talking. Oh,
I get in so
you were the
much
one
trouble
talking.
playing.
Okay. Weren't you the one talking? Did you interrupt yourself and
I
put up a
did.
ticker? Okay.
Talk about squirrel.
You just had to put up that ticker. Did you have an alarm in your head say, "Okay, I have to put the ticker up at 18 minutes."
I
Okay.
did. I did. It's so funny. Yes, because I'm learning how to do all this stuff and I want to use it and I want to play with it, but I'm supposed to be working too. So it's
Yeah.
like I'm right there with you where it's like I'm finding the joy
Yes.
in getting
Okay.
to do all this stuff, right? Where it's
Right.
like, oh my God, this is so fun. Oh my gosh, this is so
Mhm.
fun. Oh, look what we can do.
It is fun. And having to deal when and what we do is, we're blessed, definitely, and we don't have to deal with a lot of personalities around us, you know what I mean? Like you do in an office environment or any other kind of work environment where you basically are dealing with other people, and sometimes that's basically the hardest part of
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think working out in the world, and because I loved the work I did, it wasn't easy, but still it was challenging. I got to have a challenge. It was the people, the people.
It was the people. And it's funny for those of you who've been following Sharon and I for a while, and you know how we just end up like being the same thing. We also were both accountants. You can't make this stuff up.
I know, right?
Both in the corporate doing accounting, and it's so funny because I know so many people that are in the spiritual realm that used to be accountants. It's like there's something about accountants. I think it's all those numbers and that
It's
Numbers and
Yeah.
working with the numbers, it opens our mind.
I think so too, and it helps balance us out because if we're always in the right brain, because we needed balance. Because if you're an intuitive person or a sensitive person, intuitive child, and we all are, but when you're that way growing up and stuff, you kind of, and you're very sensitive, an empath, I guess is what I'm getting to. You
Yeah.
need something to balance that out. Yeah. So Adele says that she thinks there's a way to make your banner almost invisible. It's not annoying and subliminal. Okay. Yeah, let's find that. Okay. We don't have to do that now.
Sharon, I just keep dragging you into my crazy ass world.
That's all right. Subliminal. Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
I'm
As
gonna
long
have
as,
it flashing in the background. Buy this, get a reading. You need life coaching. We're going subliminal. We're getting like full on marketing
I
tactics
know,
now.
right? Okay. So one thing I wanted to say too, real quick, is we were talking about going within, and what I've learned, and it makes so much sense, is that, and there's actually scientific research on this, theory on this, that we are actually this matrix that we're, you know, moving around in, or, be in, is actually we're turned inside out, is what I'm trying to say. We have been turned inside out. That what's within is within us is what's real.
Right.
And we are projecting onto a matrix from what's within us. And one thing that uh, really blew my mind recently that I saw, and I'm going to have her and my orb sister Tracy on my show, and because this man, his name is Dumatron, I think. He's from Romania, I believe. Um, gets the most amazing pictures, photos, because he sits there half naked and meditates and takes pictures, has the camera, and he's got these full-bodied angels and all these beautiful,
Oh,
beautiful energies
wow.
around him. It's amazing. Well, he's working with this lady, Merlina, um, where she's analyzing the photos, because she has this method that she made up where she can see things in our photos, and she's analyzed my sisters, the Orb sisters, some of our photos, and she noticed in some of these photos, these angels or upright beings, human like looking beings, that there's a bunch of them that are holding a device with their left hand against their chest, and the other hand, the right hand, is extended, except you can't see the hand, it's cut off at the wrist. But and she zooms in and does whatever method she has on this device. It's like a tablet, the size of a tablet, a device tablet. She zooms in and you can see a face on it, a couple of faces, like it's projecting from this device into the realm. Isn't that blow? Yeah, I can see it by your
Whoa.
face.
It's
Whoa.
like, what the heck?
I know. And my sister and I used to have these conversations where, we just kind of see ourselves up in this higher realm with a projector projecting ourselves down here, into this matrix or whatever it is. That's kind of, to me, kind of confirms a lot of that.
It totally it's how it is. We're like avatars
Yes.
and we're projected from the higher realms and we chose it.
Yes. And this is to me, this is photographic proof of that theory, or that, what we know to be true, kind of
Yeah.
thing. Isn't that crazy?
I'm still stuck on sitting out naked with the orbs.
No, half naked.
Oh, forget it then, never
It
mind.
is, it is shorts. Right. Yeah, I know. But he's always there with it, without a shirt, with nothing, and he's just sitting there with just his shorts on. Um, and if you go to our Orb Sisters Facebook
Is that on
page,
there?
it's on, the video's on there. Yeah,
Oh,
on
very
our
cool,
yeah, she
very
made a
cool.
video showing this. Yeah, it's on there. Um, and he just sits there and he meditates, and they show up, and I mean, he gets the most I mean, my sister and I get really amazing photos, but his are, "What? Are you serious?" kinda
Yeah.
thing. Yeah,
Yeah. And it
really
is, and
cool.
it's just really being able to sit quietly and be in that presence within yourself
Yes.
where the projections come from. That's what
Yes.
we're learning about right now, right? That we're
Yes,
the
and one of the
masters of all of that.
Totally, totally. One of the photos, you can see the light from his, either being beamed into or beamed out of his crown
Yeah.
to the other being that's holding the tablet, like, right here with his left arm right here against this part of him, the heart area, and his chest area, and the other arm is out, and you can see the beam going from them, to and
Wow.
from them. Yeah.
Wow. That's so cool. All of this stuff, we're learning all of the stuff that is so real, that we used to think was just, some fantastical sci-fi kind of a thing, even 20 years ago. And we're
Mhm,
finding all this stuff is real. All this stuff is the hidden technology and the things that have been known for a long time. And it's
mhm.
so exciting. We are awakening, and the awakening is really about that kind of stuff. Hearing about it and learning about it and the revelation of these new technologies. If we didn't have Facebook and YouTube and all this technology that we have, we'd still be in the dark ages like it was 50 years ago.
Yeah,
Look at how much we've grown in knowledge and wisdom and science, but also in awakening and finding all of this kind of stuff. And it's exciting. It's exciting, but it can also be a little bit like, but my analogy, I think I did share this last week, like riding the roller coaster,
mhm.
at 75 miles an hour, and it's just like, ah, but it's so fun. But a lot of the getting through all of this stuff and making it through is just calming down and being quiet within and listening within. And that's when all of this comes. And that's what he's doing when he's connecting up with that, is he's getting still and quiet within. And then
Right.
he's able to use that technology to project out like that. And we all have the capability of doing it. And honestly, we're all doing it unconsciously anyways.
Yes, we
So
are.
that's part of the whole thing. It's like, let's do it consciously. Let's shift this crazy matrix and
Mhm.
start creating a new matrix where we're all consciously working together for goodness and good stuff.
I think we are doing it. It's just a matter of going, being in the because 'cause we're in the thick of it anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's be in the, as we're in the thick of it, be in that space where it's not so, maybe challenging or difficult, yeah, for some people. And it's, 'cause we started out with, how to get through these times with as much ease and grace as possible, and, we both agree that, and I'm sure everyone here would agree, going within is a big part of it. And Michelle, let's talk a little bit about meditation and what is your view of meditation and what are your tools for going within? Because a lot of people tell me, and I'm sure you too, is that I just can't sit still. I can't quiet my mind, that kind of thing.
Mm.
And so, um, I think it's important that, um, maybe to help people understand that
Yeah.
whatever, there's
Yeah.
all kinds of ways to meditate. Go ahead.
Yeah, so let's share our ways that we share, because
Mhm.
there's a thousand ways up the mountain. But
Right.
here I have 3 things that I share. One of them is, if you're not meditating and you really have a hard time doing that, don't try to start off trying to still your mind, because the mind is meant to think. And if you're all of a sudden they're like, bam, be still, it's really difficult to do. Start with guided meditations. Start with listening to some really good guided meditations that are maybe have music under them that are a 4 what is that, 432 or 528 hurts,
Mhm.
that is
Mhm.
made to still the mind. And I have some on my website for sale. I also have a Patreon site called Meditation Station for Elevation, where I've got all kinds of meditations on there, long ones, short ones, that have all that. So get some guided meditations. I know I've got a few free ones on my YouTube channel here too. The second one is listening to very calming music, music that makes you feel calm. Music entrains the brain. Music entrains the frequency of the body. Music entrains the energy around you. And that's a great way to do it. But the other thing that I teach is don't try to meditate what you think meditation is. It's like, this is meditation. This is what it is. This is what it is. Meditation is simply listening. So I teach prayer meditation. Dear God, help me. And the meditation of that is listening.
Mhm.
And as you're listening, you're going to hear the dog barking next door, or maybe in the room next door. You're going to hear maybe your heartbeat. Maybe you hear your mind starting to think, right? And this is the time to train your mind. Say, thank you, mind. Thank you. Thank you. Just let that thought flow through. And then listen again. What's going on? I hear the clock ticking. Just be mindful, bring your awareness back in, focusing on the heart, focusing on the breathing. Breathing is really important. We're all kind of shallow breathers, but using that practice of meditation as listening and not trying to master the mind, especially at the beginning, because the mind, it's a wrestling match. You're trying to quiet a freaking orangutan on cocaine. And it's just like it's not going to happen. But there's steps. Use guided meditation. Be mindful of the hertz of music you have. Get some beautiful music that that makes you feel calm and makes you feel happy. And start doing meditation as a listening practice at first too. And also don't try to do it for an hour. Start with 2 minutes. Do it for 2 minutes. Do it 2 minutes for a week and then do it for 3 minutes. Put a timer on. Take baby steps. And what happens is when you do that, you feel empowered and you feel inspired because, oh my gosh, I did it. Instead of sitting down and thinking you got to meditate and sit in stillness for an hour or a half an hour or 15 minutes, playing with the orangutan, and I can't do this. And that's where that comes from, that I can't meditate. Yeah, you can. You just haven't been taught how to begin.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. I've changed it from meditation to devotion for me because I feel like
Mm,
it's
mm,
devotion, devoting to yourself and reflection, just
yeah.
devoting that time to yourself. Um, and Yash was the one who taught me how to meditate. And there's no right or wrong way. He just taught me
Mm-mm.
how to sit still and go within. And that, oops, I hear an echo. Okay. So what I do and what I help people with and that asked me that question is pretty much what you said, Michelle, is you don't have to have a goal in your meditation and you don't have to quiet your mind. And it's all about calming, just calming, slowing your thoughts down, slowing them down. Yeah.
Breathing.
Just,
Ooh.
yeah, breathing, just slowing things down. And I set my goal to be 20 minutes minimum because it takes me 20 minutes just to be able to calm my my body and my thoughts, and sometimes my thoughts are still going all over the place, but you can get really good inspiration. You don't always have to have that uh, experience that's mind-blowing in a meditation, which is kind of rare anyway, but just as long as you spend that time within and calming your mind, breathing like you're saying, and just letting things go around you, happen around you. And if you find your mind going off on a tangent, just gently bring it back. And it's good to have, I've found it's good to have a mantra. Mantras help me to begin with,
Mhm.
to start to help calm
Yeah.
my mind. Yeah, and Yeshua taught me infinity, which helped expand me. I also like I am or I am love or something that helps bring you into focus, because focus is really important with calming the mind, calming the thoughts, calming, the monkey mind. So
The
having some
orangutan
the
mind.
orangutan mind, yeah, totally. So that big ape that's in, bouncing around in our heads. Um, so having some kind of a focus there. And I love the idea of music because I listen to Anugama, chakra healing, and when you listen to a certain song, if you listen to the same song, I found for me,
Yeah.
every time I go into meditation, each time you listen to it, you automatically just go into that state because your body,
Yeah.
you have that memory. Your mind and your body remember, okay, this is when I'm supposed to be meditating or reflecting, devoting to me,
Yeah.
and it just starts happening. So that works for me. Guided meditations are great too, definitely, and that's a good way to start because it helps with focus. I like quiet, and so I look forward to my devotion time, and if I don't have it, I can tell a difference in my day and in my thoughts.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I know that if, the more you do it, the more that you will wanna do it, and you'll be able to tell a difference. And I always say the same thing you say, praying is talking to God, meditation is listening.
Yeah.
Yeah, listening to God.
And it really is. And and oh, it's 4:44 here on the West Coast. Ooh, ooh. So a beautiful portal opening for us to be
Yes.
able to everybody collectively take a nice deep breath right now.
Ooh.
That is one of the best ways to have a second of meditation.
Mhm,
One of the most wonderful meditation teachers is Thich Nhat Hanh.
mhm,
And I studied him many, many years ago and read his books and listened to his teachings, and he's just so calm. He's like, I meditate everywhere. Every step is a meditation. Meditate while you're washing your dishes. Meditate while you're brushing your hair. And when I came to him like that, I was blah, and I'd be like, this guy's crazy. There's no way I can't meditate. But I kept listening to him. I kept listening to his meditations. So, Sharon, that's such a wonderful suggestion to find what feels good. Not
mhm,
necessarily what works for you at the beginning, but what feels good and
mhm.
stick with it for a while
Yeah.
because you get entrained to that energy. And another thing, I know I've got Dawn is here with me, and I have a meditation class that I do every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Pacific time. And my students that have been with me for a couple of years, it's so funny. We do a little spiritual teaching, and we kind of talk and chit chat, and then we go into meditation. The students that have been with me for a long time say, as soon as I start talking, they're like, bam, and they
Mhm,
go in because they get entrained to that tone and to all of that. And it's really cool. And that
mhm.
works and that helps a lot. And the
Yeah.
mantra and even Om, even
Om.
Om. If you
Om's a
can't
good one.
think of
Definitely.
anything, Om it out, man.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. Yeah, it's
And
good
love.
stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah, it's so important. And it'll go miles and miles and miles to help you with the awakening, with this ascension that we're going through, because we're all changing and we can change consciously or we can kind of get dragged along behind the cart. And so
Right?
and Dawn's going, your voice changes and it sends me right off.
Right.
It does. I
I
can feel
bet.
as
Yeah.
soon as I pop into it, it's like dink, 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 dink. And it changes.
Yes, totally.
Anybody with some hypnotherapy training can do that too. And I'm sure
Mhm.
you do the same thing. You do it, I notice when you do prayer too.
Yeah.
Sharon. It's like your voice, the modulation of your voice changes.
Yeah.
It's because we're
We're
professionals.
well, professional at something. Yeah. A lot of things.
Yeah, we're
So
not saying what professional, just we're
professional goof offs.
professionals.
Goofballs, professional goofballs. Um,
Professional shenanigators, that's it.
so let's move to okay. So that's one really really important way to be able to handle the chaos or whatever is going on with this ascension with your ascension process is making sure that we do go within and taking care of anything that comes up is moving into the mental part of it, right? Um, I find that it's super super important as things come up and you feel like you're going crazy because it is going to happen and you feel like you're going crazy and you feel like I don't know what to do and your mind's racing and everything's going on around you, things are falling apart or whatever it is, right? um, can't get a grip. uh, you got to find someone to talk to. You got to find someone to talk to. If you don't have someone in your inner circles to talk to about the things that are coming up for you, find some kind of an online group, find someone you trust, maybe that um, that you can employ or something like that. Like Michelle and I are available always, but for that kind of thing, and find someone to get it out, journal it, get it out, because energetically, I'm sure Michelle can see this too. We can see in same, I can see it in my own energy field sometimes when
Yeah,
I have
yeah,
all this stuff going on in my energy field. We can you can see the thought forms, just see them and feel them bouncing around if we haven't released them and haven't got them out there. Just get it off our shoulders, type of deal. And always find it's really important to find people or someone who will not judge, because a lot of stuff's going to come up, is coming up during the ascension, during these times, moving
yeah.
up in frequency, the shift, the great shift, whatever you want to call it, the great awakening. Things are coming up and things are going to be intense, are intense. So, what do you think about that, Michelle? What's your
Yeah,
thoughts on?
and that's why people like Sharon and I are here. That's why we've spent years and years and years not only practicing, but studying, studying all this stuff, studying all these different healing modalities and things like hypnotherapy and consciousness and that, so that we would be ready
Mhm.
for this time.
Yeah.
It's so important. And another thing that's really important is not only a daily practice of prayer meditation, even your 2 minutes, you got to work up. You can't stay there. You got to work up. But also having a place to plug into of people who are working on that kind of stuff, right? So, like, I have the meditation, Sharon has meetups, and having that place to be with like-hearted people and having that somewhere to go once a week is really ideal, right? Because it
Yeah.
kind of keeps you on track. You get to plug in, you get to feel good, you get to be around people that are high frequency. If you're not feeling so good, when you get done, you're like lifted, because a rising tide lifts all ships, right? Frequency will find its highest frequency when you're doing that. And it makes such a big difference. Even in my meditation, sometimes I'm like, oh God, I'm not up to teaching this class. I'm just feeling, and you get in there and everybody's in there and they're all just wonderful, loving people. And whoop, I'm good. I'm on it. I'm on it. See the beautiful faces. And that's for you guys too. And so find something you can do once a week that you can plug into, and be with people who are lifting their frequency, who are doing prayer and meditation, who are talking positive, who are understanding what we're talking about here, and who are moving up, moving on up, right? Be with that people that have laughter in their heart and who will help lift your frequency. Tap into that. And sometimes it's not comfortable, because we can get really, really familiar in the meh, right?
Hmm.
Meh, but it's comfortable. But when your soul is pulling you to something new, you got to get out of the meh. And so get into the yay, right? Get into that happy energy, people that talk about positive. And even if they're talking about things that are kind of rough, like we kind of talked about the trafficking and stuff, people that have solutions that aren't just going to go, this is happening, man. Wow. It's like, but here's what we do about it, right? And so, you want to have solution based things too, and make sure it resonates with you. If it
Yeah.
doesn't feel good to you, it's not for you. And listen to yourself, because there's so much that's available right now, because there's a lot of people like Sharon and I. We're the best, by the way, but there's a lot,
We're legends in our own minds.
we are legends in our own freaking minds. Um, but there's a lot of opportunity, and you can find what works for you and what fits for you. And sometimes it might take a little bit, of going back and forth, but taking those steps make all the difference in the world. And consistency makes all the difference in the world. And breathing makes all the difference in the world.
Yeah. Yes, and breath work. If you really want to catapult your process, do some type of breath work every day. Some type of breath work, at least 5, 6, 10 minutes or whatever. Find something that resonates with you. That Russell Brand has a really good breath work and a chanting that it only takes 6.5 minutes to do that every day.
Yeah.
I love it. It's he calls it, the name of the video is Awaken Your Intuition, and I do that pretty much every day, and I can tell a difference when I don't do it. Um,
And
so
who would have
something
ever thought that crazy dude would be a
I
spiritual
know,
teacher?
a crackhead. Yeah,
And
he
a
used to be.
good one. It
Well, he was
goes to
probably a good
show we can
crackhead too. Yeah. So
crackhead meditation, do it now. He's amazing.
he's pretty awesome. Some people don't like him. I know. I don't can't see what's not to like, but that's just me. I always thought there was something cool about him. Even when I didn't even know he was a crackhead, but I knew he was off the charts, off the wall, I guess you could say, off the wall. And I thought, yeah, that guy seems kind of cool, but I never paid attention to him. And then I love what he has to share with the meditations and that spiritual part of him, because he practices yoga and all that too. So and sometimes it takes the sometimes it takes a lot of drugs to open us up, to crack us like an egg. I know. Don says I love him. Yeah.
Yeah. And there's a lot of people who have gone that route, who are
Mhm.
now practicing spirituality. And a lot of people have been very, very famous, have brought it around to that kind of stuff. I know Tina Turner, she is full on into the meditation, and she even has an album out there that's chanting,
Oh,
that's doing the
nice.
chanting.
I didn't know that.
Mhm.
Oh, cool. I've always loved her. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's gone through a lot.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Oh, yeah. Bless her heart.
Yeah.
And bless her heart.
Bless
And
her
it's
heart.
so cool to see so many of these people who have really lived magnificent lives, but hard lives. It's hard being awesome. Ask Sharon.
It gets easier as you get older, but yeah.
But it really, really isn't, to see people like that. And it lets us all know, no matter what we've been through, we are here now, and we can be our very best in every single moment. And you don't have to be perfect. John is
Dawn.
saying, I'm grateful that Russell did drugs so I didn't have to.
Yeah.
Amen, sister.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Too bad I didn't have that that attitude. Yeah, so that's probably what cracked, well, I know what cracked my head open was my head did get cracked. Uh, but yeah,
Literally.
right?
Yeah.
Acid and all that kind of stuff. My hypnotherapy teacher, hypnosis teacher, many, 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 many moons ago, when I was taking you know, cert the courses to be a hypnotherapist, hypnotist, um, he said that the people who have taken psychedelic drugs are probably more that that it's been. seeing that those types of people are more apt to or prone to be able to move into a trance state easier.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Hmm.
Yeah. Well, and the indigenous people and for thousands and thousands of years, shamans and healers and you know the medicine people have used those kind of drugs for healing.
Right.
They're studying psilocybin, magic mushrooms now for depression and all kinds of mental and I almost said psychic disorders, mental and
Psychotic.
I need to get some mushrooms apparently.
Well, you know that there's clinics that are legal in Oregon now.
Oh, really?
Hmm.
So I'm needing to be coming up to Oregon apparently because my brain's not working.
Yeah. Yeah, the clinics, it's not legal on the streets yet, but which is why mushrooms have to be a street thing, and we know why they've been illegal. We know why,
Yeah, because they
you know,
work.
be, because they heal us. Yeah, and they're Earth's medicine. They're Earth's medicine. So,
Yeah.
but now they, and I always knew that, just like, um, yes, mushrooms are legal here. Oh, they are legal on the street or just in the clinics. Uh, so
Yeah, I
but
think she's up. I think is she in Oregon
she's in
too? I don't
Oregon.
remember where.
Yeah, I think Oregon's
Oregon
the
or
only state.
Washington.
I think Oregon leads the way on this kind of stuff. Um, so I don't know if they're legal on the street, but I understand they're, legal in the clinics. But let me know about that, Adele, if you know that. Um, because what was I gonna say? Uh, oh, yes, I had all this intuition. We kind of knew this that weed and these types of healing, plants, healing, plant medicine was not going to be legalized until the establishment could find a way to, profit off of it.
Yeah,
Mhm. And
yeah,
that's what's happening. Yeah.
yeah,
But, hey, that's as long as we get access to it somehow, some way.
yeah. And that's okay. That's
Yeah.
it's the way of commerce, and it isn't forever because that's what this changing and all this stuff is about.
Right.
We're
It
changing that
is.
matrix.
And now,
You're,
yeah, go ahead. Changing the matrix, which is in the brain, in the mind, in the brain.
yeah.
Yeah. Um, which is funny to think about when you think about it. Uh, so moving on to physical and easing physical symptoms in the ascension process.
Sleep in your lounge chair as often as possible.
Sleep in your fast like a girl or a boy,
Oh,
whichever.
interesting. By Mindy Phillies.
Dr. Mindy Pelz,
Oh,
Pelz.
Pelz. Okay.
The new book I'm reading. I have been doing intermittent fasting, and I've fasted most of my life in some way or form. I love it. Highly, highly recommend it. And those who know
Yeah.
me know I talk about this a lot. And but this the information is here is, just really, really good. And intermittent fasting. I've been last 3 days. I've fasted for about 15 hours and
Hmm.
then eating, which isn't really hard for me anyway, except I don't have my smoothie because I would start my day with a smoothie.
Yeah.
So I haven't been having that. I've just been drinking tea and then eating later in the day, like one or two or three, something like that. And I'm fine with that. I I don't. I'm not hungry. I almost have to make myself eat, and I can tell. And water weight has fallen off of me.
Hmm.
Um, I can tell a difference in my nervous system. Okay. Yeah, I can tell a big difference. I'm sleeping harder, which I'm not so sure that I like that because I like waking up in the middle of the night a couple times for my, with my out of bodies, remembering all that kind of thing.
Oh, yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
Uh, so I highly recommend, I'm clearer minded.
Hmm.
Yeah. And my intuition is, I can feel that better. It's just like natural. and we're already like this anyway, but just things are popping in naturally, more naturally.
Yeah.
I'm getting, the veil is thinning
Yep.
when we don't
Absolutely.
have food, so much food weighing us down. And she talks about, yeah, and she talks about how our body needs to, our cells need to be able to recalibrate or
Mhm.
clean themselves out, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Um, but with at least 14 or 15 hours in between eating, at least. She
Yeah.
talks about going up to 24 hours. So I'm working my way up to 24 hours and then maybe 3 to 4 days again. But it's extremely helpful for these energies moving up as we move up and we're taking on more light. The
Yep.
more we're
Yep.
holding on to old cells in our body that just keep using sugar to uh, to fuel us because we keep putting food in, on a regular basis, then the harder it's going to be for us to clean out our cell memories.
Yeah. And it's really, I know for me, it's since I was a kid, I am happy if I eat one meal a day.
Hmm.
It
Yeah.
feels right for me. And I remember, oh, you got to eat 5 times a day. And I would just be like, I don't want to eat five. I don't want to. I get up, I'm not hungry until noon or one. And then I drink a big glass of water. Well, I drink it in the morning when I get up too. And I'm fine until like 4 or 5. Like right now, I'm getting hungry. It's getting late. But until like 4 or 5, I'm not hungry until then. And when I
Yeah.
listen to my body and I pay attention in that old programming, oh my God, you got to eat something. I'm not hungry. I know, but it's 2 p.m. and you got to eat. Got my
Hmm.
mom's voice in there, right? Or you got a show to do. You got to eat something. No, I don't. I can drink some water. I can do a green drink. I do juicing and do that and let it ride. And it's so much better.
It
My
is.
mind is clearer, like you were saying, and it's so much better.
I have more energy too. I forgot
Mhm.
to mention that. Do you have more energy too?
Way more,
Yeah.
way more.
Mm.
And I'm still kind of detoxing from Christmas because I went crazy. I
Oh,
had
okay.
cookies, I had ice cream, I had cheesecake.
Well, that's what
Not,
Christmas is for.
yeah, and it is, but oh God, I've been hung over from the holidays for a week.
Yeah,
It's
and
just,
that's what she talks about is that's okay, but
uh,
give our body a rest
yeah,
so that we can clean out our system,
yeah,
give it a rest and, and do a water fast for, you know, 24 hours or maybe 36 hours. Cause she does say to work your way up to it. And
yeah,
then,
yeah,
yeah, and then, and she's got recipes in here too. I haven't got to those yet, but, uh, yeah, I'm excited about learning how helpful this is for us. And I always knew this, but I didn't have the tools to do it right when I
mhm,
was doing it on a heavy basis 20 years ago. But I had to do it because that's the only way I could clear out my cell memories.
yeah. And
Yeah.
it is, and it's really important for us to begin to realize we don't need to eat as much food as we are told we're supposed to eat. We get so much food, and it's all about marketing, right? And they put all this addictive stuff in our food to where we want more and
Exactly.
more. And all the and it's just like, and all of a sudden, they're like, oh, half the world's obese. And it's like, well,
I
then
wonder
quit having
why.
all this crap available for cheap. It's like, cut it out. Quit
We're
giving us this crap.
consumers. We're consumers. That's what we are.
Hmm.
We just have this big dollar sign on us. That's the way they
Yeah.
look at it. These food these all these big corporations. We're consumers,
Yeah.
and that's what we are totally.
And
So
that's one of the matrices that we're breaking too by
yes,
taking our power back by what we're eating and what we're consuming. It's not just plastics or, that kind of stuff. It's what we're eating and how we're eating. It's so important that we're eating healthy and even the plants and stuff, if you're eating organic stuff but it's grown in soil that has no nutrients left in it, that's a problem.
yeah.
We have to be really mindful of eating food that has the nutrients in it too. It's like farmers markets,
Mhm,
that kind of stuff.
mhm. Plus, we eat a lot more than we need to. We can get by on eating probably a quarter of what we really eat. A quarter. And of course, anybody here, we have a very smart audience. So, if you're thinking of fasting, she's a doctor, so I highly recommend. She has a YouTube
Yeah.
channel too, so she's got great stuff on there too. But talk to your doctor too. But
Yeah, absolutely.
we're not.
Disclaimer, we're not doctors. We only play one on YouTube.
Yeah.
But it's really important. It's such a wonderful way of life. And,
Yeah.
I kind of laughed because I was watching something that had to do with the World Economic Forum. And and they were talking about,
You mean WEF?
and talking about, people are going to have to learn to regulate their food, and we can't sustain all these feed, food and stuff like that. I'm like, yay, we can all go back to being normal again,
Yeah. Hey, good
without it.
point.
The marketing is intense.
Mhm.
And remember, what was it that really started this whole thing off was McDonald's super size it, super size me, whatever that whole campaign was,
Mhm.
where all of a sudden portions of everything got huge.
Right.
Like where we would have like a hamburger. Now we got a hamburger.
Yeah, and
And
these huge drinks too, I
giant
mean,
drinks that
and
are
now
just
we have buffets where you all you can eat. I don't eat at buffets because whenever I would go,
it's
you know,
gross.
it's a long time ago. I always said there's no way I get my money was worth in a buffet because I can't do it, and it, it's just another way to make us, unhealthy. It's
Yeah,
glorifying unhealthiness, and
yeah,
it's how they keep their thumb down on us. I know
yeah.
we keep saying they, but there's kind of that part of who we are that we agreed
Art.
to right?
Well done.
Yes.
But
And
yeah,
cookies and muffins. Oh, yeah, that's a tough one. Baked goods, right?
yeah,
Oh, if you Darn, are you talking about for Christmas?
yeah.
Yeah.
It's got the cookies and the muffins. But that's okay. We're doing that. And I would, yeah, because I know I'm working towards my goal is the beginning of February is to kind of get over because I really do feel like I'm hung over from all the crap
Mm.
I was eating. I have a
Mhm.
little bit of a headache. I don't really have my energy back, which is why I started doing, going back to
Mhm.
how I want to eat. Now
Mhm.
getting up and having, I don't do coffee or any of that kind of stuff, but getting up and eating something, eating some leftovers. Mac and cheese for breakfast, not a good idea. Not if you got stuff to do, and
Right.
getting detoxed. And I've been getting the veggies in and the fruit and veggies in and clearing out. And the beginning of February, I'm going to go back to that intermittent fasting. It's how I feel the
Good.
best.
Good, good. Yeah, me too. Oh, supersized. Yes, supersized cookies and muffins. I know they're huge. The muffins that they sell in the store, those big muffins, I could get probably 6 servings out of that.
Yeah. The Costco also was
Mhm.
another one
Oh,
where
those are
everything went
good.
gigantic.
Their cookies and their oh, yeah, totally. Those are good. I used to shop for because I was the HR manager at my old job and, career, and so I'd shop for our events, our picnics and things like that, and so I'd always get the Costco cookies. They went really quick because they are really good, but I haven't
They
had
were,
a Costco cookie since I worked there 5
yeah,
years ago. Yeah.
more stuff. But that's okay because we're all coming back. Excuse me.
You're excused.
I I
Wait.
I I mistakenly put a notification thing on my phone, and there is a fire down around the corner from me. Interesting. It
Oh,
just notified, whoop, whoop. That's okay. I don't smell it, so I'm safe.
okay. You don't see the flames.
When I start smelling smoke, I know it's time to go.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's what we eat is all a part of all of this and surviving. I'm so
Mhm.
glad you brought that up. And moving the body.
Oh, yes, thank you, thank you.
Yeah,
Moving the body.
moving the body, and yoga
Movement
is
is
so good.
very important,
Yeah.
movement. Yeah, and also not just yoga definitely, but also some kind of a gentle movement like maybe tai chi or,
Mhm.
qigong, where you're moving, moving the energy around you and using that energy to, I just started doing these 5-minute tai chi exercises, that I found on YouTube, 5 minutes a day.
Yep.
5 minutes a day. Yeah, and just helping to, and they're all just gentle movements and moving that energy around you and, um, take I don't know taking control of that energy around you, uh, that it just feels really, really good.
Yeah.
And smoothing out your energy field, that type of thing.
S
I know, right? I
Pet
love
your
it.
field, pet your field. And you begin to get really familiar with your energy when you do that kinda stuff too.
You do. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
I love
yeah,
it.
so 5 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day.
So you meditate, you do your little prayer, you do your little meditation, you do a little breathing, you do a little qigong,
Qigong gong.
qigong. I used to call it tai qigong, or a little stretching, give yourself 20 to 30 minutes out of your 24-hour day to love yourself.
Mhm,
And if you don't want to love yourself, love God that's within you. Be in service to that divine spark that is you. Because there is some things, little self-destructive patterns that many people get caught up in, where they don't take care of themselves because they have some kind of mental, emotional, distortion around caring for themselves. And I know when I was young, I had anorexia, and I've
mm,
always battled with the food thing. It's like I have this love hate with food. I would rather just not eat. I don't want to eat. It's a pain in the butt. It's expensive. It's a pain in the butt. You got to fix it. You got to prepare it. You got to clean it up. And I've always had this love hate thing. And it stems from kind of some self destructive old patterns. And it's
mhm,
important to take a look at that and shift the mental thoughts, the perceptions, to focus on the God within,
mhm.
because we all want to take care of God, right? Or Jesus, or whatever, the angels within, whatever that is for you. We want it to be good to God.
Yeah, if we don't wanna love ourselves, keep working till we do because we can't really we can't give what we don't have, right? We can't have successful relationships. We can't have, any kind of success that, really amounts to much if we don't love ourselves, if we don't have that type of love for ourselves, for ourself. And, my guides have always told me, if we could only see ourselves the way they see us, we'd be we would be like, "What in the world was I thinking?" Kind of thing,
Yeah.
I can't believe that I was so hard on myself. If we could only see the way and if we could just give as much love to ourselves that we give to others around us too, um, it would be we'd have we'd be floating on air every day. And I want to share one thing that real quick that you were talking about with um, not loving ourselves. And because we use food when we don't love ourselves, we use
Mhm.
food to to fill up that void, right?
And
Food,
comfort.
drink, whatever, drugs,
Mhm.
whatever. Yeah, for comfort. Thank you. And I had seen a lot, and I've always struggled with weight too all my life. And I had when I was working with my guides 20 years ago, and all these lifetimes were coming up. One that I came up for me was pretty profound for me was I lived in South America, uh, and I had a relationship with. My name was Katarina, I believe, and I just remember his name was Ronaldo, and I was so in love with him, and we were just so in love, and I called him Donnie, but his name was in this realm. I called him Donnie, and he stuck around with me for a long time. He's still with me if I call on him, but I just remember how beautiful he was and is, and we were so in love, young, and um, I got pregnant, had a child, and kept gaining weight. Couldn't get the weight off, just kept gaining weight. And we chose that experience that he would be mean to me and say mean things to me about the
Mhm.
weight. He thought in his mind that he was helping me, I guess, you know, but he would say mean things to me and make me feel bad about myself. And so I carried that over because we had a really deep soul connection. So he helped me to heal that. And a lot of that keeps us from, because we build that barrier around us. The weight is like a barrier,
It's protection.
protection, yeah, from the world hurting us.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah. So
absolutely.
yeah, so as you go within in your devotion time to yourself, you can ask if you struggle with weight. And Michelle and I both admit that we've struggled with it all our lives, right? And but you can find that balance. You can, um, and being aware of how our body works is really important, definitely. And what your body can handle, but paying attention to your body, but going within and you can ask your guidance, what is it that is um, stopping me from maybe eating healthy or things like that, stopping me from loving myself, stopping me from wanting to reach for the ice cream or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and see what comes up with that.
And also being mindful, because I know I caught myself the other day. I had some um, tortilla chips that I'd had for like Christmas that were in a bag and they're still sitting on the counter.
Hmm.
And so I was doing something with the cat and I was feeling around and I was just thinking like I had some time, la di da, my little happy thoughts. And all of a sudden I'm sitting there eating chips. I went, when did that happen?
Yeah,
How often does that happen? Right? That not paying attention, just being in remote control.
yeah,
And so that's another thing is really being mindful of what you're doing.
yeah.
And it's we're just strange creatures, but we
Well, we're
got to
so
take care of this
distracted.
body. Yeah. Yes,
Yes, we're
totally.
so distracted that we've been programmed not to pay attention to what's real and our bodies and what our bodies are telling us, and that's why we get
Mhm.
sick, and that's why we get diseases and all
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. And so, yeah, so now is the time to pay attention because our body is always talking to us.
Yeah. We are
Yeah,
definitely in this awakening state and the body's awakening with us. That's the thing.
right.
I've had several people say, "Yeah, but, I'm leaving the body, so who cares?" No.
No, you're
The body's
not.
going with you. That's part of the contract. Did you not read the small writing on the bottom?
The body is what's taking on all the light,
Mhm.
and the more light we take on, the less we need to eat.
Yeah.
The less sleep we need, the
Yeah.
less we need to eat, the more light we take on. If you'll notice that beings in higher frequencies do not eat, if at all. They can if they want, but they do not need to eat.
Yeah.
Galactics, any kind of beings in higher frequency, they do not need to eat. They will if they want to, but they do not need to.
I've been
Yeah.
told by a couple of them that I've been in connection with that sometimes they incarnate here in order to eat because it's such a pleasurable thing.
Hmm.
This being in this dimension, there's so much pleasure. There's sex and you can really feel, and there's food and drink. And some of us who have decided to come down from those dimensions are like, woohoo, this is
Hmm.
awesome, right?
Yeah. Right.
Coming
And
in
it's
for the party.
it's it's definitely a different. it's a physical thing for sure, but, I know that in the higher realms that it can be just as physical. In my out of body experiences, it's
Yeah.
just, if not more, physical. It
Yeah.
feels more physical, but,
It does.
I
It
think it
does
can be
when
an
we're
addiction
moving from
too.
here to there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
mhm.
But I've also had it said the other way, that they
No, I get
incarnate in order to have the physical body, the physical body to
yeah,
have the physical sensations, because it just isn't the same in the other realms.
mhm.
It feels physical, but it's just not the same. And it's like it cracks me up. It's like, you guys are crazy. This place down here is nuts. This thing, not worth it. But at some point we think it is, right? Because those of us that are here, especially those of us that are the star seeds and the light workers and stuff, we're projecting ourselves down from those higher realms. We're projecting ourselves into this physical body right now.
Yeah, we all are, yeah.
And part of it is that pleasure. And some of us just go a little overboard.
Yeah, I think it can be an addiction. Yeshua told me one time, long time ago, that what I said, what, when I was waking up, what keeps us coming back? What are the things that keep us coming back? What kind of addictions or, that want us, that we would want to come down here and experience? And he did
Right.
say, addictions to, I said, what are the addictions? I think it was, and, sex is one of them, food, drugs, alcohol is in that line. And, he also said that, huh? Yeah,
Touch.
touch. But he also said that, violence is another one.
Interesting. That makes sense.
I was surprised, but I understand it. Yeah, I mean, not that I'm addicted to violence, but I could see that with how with the movies we watch, things like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
and obsessions with war movies and things, and there's been a lot of
Mm,
scientific studies on people who have suffered from trauma, how when they are shown or a similar type of trauma, um, that there's something in your brain that triggers some kind of a, I don't know, a connection there where, um, I'm not going to say it gives you high, not a high, but there's something that is some kind of hormone or something that's released
mhm.
where you, what, I'm not, and I can't remember what it was about, but, say you've been in a war, you remember, because I remember being in wars and, especially old wars with swords and things like that type of thing. And I'm attracted to those kind of movies, right?
Mhm.
Um, I, so, and I've talked about being, tortured and abused as a child here. I'm not attracted to those kind of movies at all, but I am definitely, um, focused on doing something about
Mm,
that,
yeah.
that kind of realm and understanding it, that type of thing. So, yeah, I can see how people can get an addiction to some kind of violence, I believe.
Yeah, it's that chemical rush. It's that adrenaline rush.
That's it. Yeah.
Adrenaline is yummy when it's flowing,
I couldn't put
and
my
people get
finger on it.
addicted to it. That's why extreme sports, that the violence, even if you're not involved in it, watching it
Mhm.
and all that kind of stuff, the thrill. Woo, I love scary movies. Wow.
Oh, yeah, I
You
can't
know,
watch those anymore, but
and I
but
think
it's
as you ascend and as you awaken more, you're not as drawn. Because I used to love like watching Lord of the Rings.
yeah, yeah.
Loved it, and I'm
Mhm.
like, little too much violence for me now, and I used to love it, and that's the sound of the swords coming out of the
Coming out of the
scabbard, that
sheath,
ring,
yeah,
ring, 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 ring. I'd be like, "Yeah." You know?
I
And
know.
now it's like, no." Stacy, you're so welcome, honey. Stacy says, "Thank you, Michelle and Sharon, for
Oh,
sharing and
thank you,
providing a
Stacy.
platform of connection."
Oh,
Thank you.
Carissa. Hey, Carissa.
Yeah,
Mwah.
it's so
Yeah.
good. So we're almost to an hour and a half. Do we wanna
Mhm.
pull a card for the group and
Let's
Share
do
share
that.
some love for them.
Let's do that. Please share your new cards, Michelle. They're gorgeous.
Yay! I've really been connecting with my Lyran roots. All the great beings from Lyra. I had a wonderful experience um, in my meditation of connecting with the Guardian Alliance. And part of the Guardian Alliance are the Lyrans that are the white lion people. And they're really like 13th, 14th dimensional beings. So they're even above the Christ. You know, the Christ is 12th dimensional. And this massive white lion is like 20 feet tall, comes walking in, and he is a king. You know, you can just feel it. And it was like, oh my gosh. And he got on his knee and he bowed to me. And he said, you have no idea how we honor those of you who chose to be on earth during this time, how much we honor and love and appreciate you because you are doing things that many other races could not do.
Wow.
And he walked me over to this gold throne that I've seen for years. I'd walk down this hallway to this gold throne, but I could never get on it. And he walked me down that hallway and he said, sit in your throne, take your place amongst the mighty masters and be there. And it was like so amazing. And he
Wow.
said, you are of the Guardian Alliance. You are there on earth as one of the guardians. And he said, we want to honor you. We want you to know what that is. And I was just like, oh my God, it was so amazing. And so then 2 days later, these cards pop up. And I said,
No
yes,
surprise. I'm gonna have to get that deck. That's beautiful. Can't wait till you pull one.
I love this. So let's see what we got here. Oh, Carissa's saying heard that certain extraterrestrial beings. Yes, ma'am, they do. Some of them living on the earth right now, but we can't talk about that on YouTube.
I think they've been kicked off the planet. They're not extraterrestrial anymore. Now humans, they yeah, extraterrestrial and humans, for what I understand, humans as well. Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
those
totally.
little, their little demon seeds are doing it still too, however that works. So
Hmm.
here's the two cards that I picked for you guys. The first one is 37. So it's number 37. So I always do this with the card number on the cards. And 37 is equals 10, which is a one number. So it's new beginnings. But it's really cool because it's the field of potentiality. And it is totally the energy that we're sitting in right now, guys. We're sitting in the beginning of the year. We're coming to the end of Mercury being retrograde. We've got all of this ascension energies going. It's a new beginning. 2023 is the year of awakening. It's the year of being in our potential. No more being in the past and past identities and all the past crap and staying stuck in all that. It is time to turn our face from the shadow and move it into the sun. And this card says, ask and it is given. And you ask within. You don't have to ask some God or universe out there, please help me. What we do now is we turn within because we're beginning to understand that we are the awakeners. We are the God presence here. And we turn within and we say, I am. I am the potential that I'm here to reach. I am the whatever it is you want. I am. And that is the secret. And you feel that energy and that love within. And then the next one is 35, which is an 8, which is abundance, is synchronicity. Miracles, let go, and recognition. It's time for you guys to recognize who you are. And this being afraid of your light that we all do. I'm afraid of my light too. But it's really time for us to step into it and really start claiming I am. I am all the greatness. I am the spark of love. I am the spark of light. I am the projection of God into this dense, dense place. But I am, and I am sacred, and I am holy, and I am divine, and I am important, and I am powerful, and I am whole, and I am beautiful. I am. I matter. You matter. We all matter. We need to claim that back again because we've been programmed away from it so much. And we need all of you guys to step into your true self, because that's what the awakening is. You're waking up to who you are.
Mhm.
Meow.
Perfect. Thank you, Michelle. So, yeah, I'm going to use Archangel Metatron cards. This is the book. It's actually by Amanda Ellis, the whole deck, and it's Self Mastery Oracle.
Oh, I
Um,
love
it's
her.
pretty amazing. Yeah.
I love her.
All right. Let's see what AA Metatron. He's had quite the journey. What he has to say.
Yes.
Quite the journey. I thank him for being here. Hmm. Dragon's Strength, number 61, Fire, Dragon's
Mm.
Strength. Let me turn my thingy off here so we can see it better.
Oh, I love that. Her cards are so beautiful.
Yeah. Dragon's Strength. That, I need to go back to, where was I? Oh, I was in the chakras. That's right. I was in the chakras.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I remember where I was. Was I on a ship? Was I on a beach? Okay. Was right. Yeah,
You
right.
were on a ship and a
Heart.
beach in the chakras.
I was yeah, there we go. Right there in the heart. Yeah. So let's see what 61 is a 7, right? 61 is a 7.
Yes, master, ascended master number.
That's my life number.
I love it.
I stand corrected. It's a 19.
Ooh,
1 and 9 is a 10. Ha! Ha, a 1. Okay.
that's my number. I'm a 1.
Okay. That's right.
That's why I'm always like, "Rah, rah, 6 boom bob. Have some fun over here. Come play with me. Let
Okay.
me lead the
Fire.
way."
Right? Dragon strength. One of the most powerful allies in this deck. It's beautiful. The Metatron Fire Dragon roars into your life, giving you strength, courage, and fortification. The dragon is here to burn away and transmute any lower energies that have been around you. What we've been talking about: toxic people, neediness, negativity, fear, anger. You're reminded that as a light worker, which everyone here is, there is a need to protect and purify your energy at all times, so that you don't become depleted or susceptible to darker energies that may see your light and try to bring you down. You have nothing to fear. The fire dragon is here to safeguard you, your home, and those you love. There you go.
That's awesome.
Yeah, the fire dragon. There's a beautiful pyramid on here too.
I love that. And the fire of the dragon is, a lot of times we're kind of, again, programmed that the fire of the dragon is destruction, but it also represents that fire within us that gets us up and moving, right?
You
It's
know
action.
what? Totally. You know what? We live in such an upside down world. I believe that we have been programmed to believe that the hellfire is, fire is hell, when we know that the flame, the violet flame, twin flame, all of that, which
Yeah.
purges and is what, what we're really, and the light is what we're really all about. And what I've learned is that what we call hell, when I do spirit rescue or even EVPs with spirits that talk on recordings, they talk about being cold, that they want warmth. So I believe that
Mm,
hell is actually cold, coldness,
it would make
lack of warmth.
sense.
Yes, but we've been programmed to believe that hell is fire. No,
Fire
fire
and
is good.
brimstone.
Fire is good.
Yeah,
Fire burns away what we don't need anymore. Yeah, that type of
yeah.
thing. And I love burning and Since I moved to Oregon, I'm a pyro now because I don't recycle cardboard. I burn it. I burn everything that's paper and cardboard and everything like that, just because it feels really good
Yeah,
to
it
you know,
does. It's transformation.
it is. It's transforming.
And
Yeah.
working with the archangels, I know, and I've shared this before, but I at one time many, many years ago, asked the angels, archangels, it's like, show me who you are. If you guys are real and you're really working with me and you're the real deal, show me who you are. And I'm sitting in meditation, and all of a sudden, this flame comes at me. And it was like, whoa, I could hear that sound, and
Mhm.
it had a face in it. And I recognized
Mm.
it as Archangel Uriel. And I recognized it in my heart. And he was just smiling. It's like, do you get it now?
Wow.
And it was like, holy crap. And the energy was so strong. When I responded to it, but I fell backwards and I was sitting on a meditation cushion and I like
Mhm.
fell off the cushion. I was just laying there, just like stunned from the power of it. But he came in flame.
Mm.
He came in
I had a
flame.
meditation kinda like that. It wasn't as profound as that, but I was in well, it was profound, but it wasn't as intense as that. When I was in meditation a few years ago, in deep meditation, and I just saw in my mind's eye, just as clear as day, a flame, this beautiful blue and white
Mm.
flame. It was gorgeous, and it was just burning, and um, whoo, I get emotional thinking about it. It was just yeah, I feel that in my body right now. Um, it was pretty profound for me, but it wasn't quite like that it wasn't like that at all where it knocked me off my seat. And I don't know, I just felt like that was me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, that was back in the day when I was in the give it to me, show it to me, I can handle
Oh,
it. Come
yeah.
on, bring it on. And yeah, don't do that.
And then they're like, "Okay, here you go."
Did I go, yeah? Here.
I've done that a few times. "Whoa, whoa, 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 wait, not that."
Oh, this has been so great. Thank you, everybody who has been here. We just love doing that. And I'm thrilled. I really talked Sharon into doing this live. And I was just kind of like, come on. And you're like, oh, I'm not sure if I want to do it. And I just thank you for trusting me that it's really, really fun. Thank you.
Oh, of
Thank
course. Well,
you.
thank you for putting this all together and doing all the work that you're doing.
Yeah.
And, I knew that it would be okay. I told you when you're old like me, change is hard.
Takes a while. So I just kept sneaking up on her. It's like, what?
I know, right?
Ooh, I didn't do that. But we all play. And who knows, if it works out great, it'll work out great. Maybe we'll go back. Who knows? It's our show. We can do it how we want to.
That's right.
And
Yeah.
so we love you guys. Carissa's love you all.
Aw.
So beautiful.
Love
And
you
that's,
too,
I just
Carissa.
want to really say this group and people who watch it live and people who watch it later, you are all so amazing. And it's an honor to sit here and to be here with you all.
Right.
We're so grateful. We're so grateful. And now
Yeah.
make
If it
sure you
wasn't for you,
subscribe,
that's right. If it
hit
wasn't
the
for you, we
bell,
wouldn't be here.
like the video, and send us money.
Oh,
Oh, wait a minute. I wasn't supposed to say that part.
right?
So we can be billionaires.
I
So
don't know.
fun.
No, thank you.
So
Well, I'm
fun.
not
You
gonna
I
say
know. What
that.
would you
Yeah,
do with
it's
all
a
that money for?
well, we wouldn't be able to keep it for sure. Well, yeah, I know, a billion's a lot of money. I'm sure we could think of a lot of things. A lot of things to do. A lot of things. Yeah.
Yes, but man, that's a lot of zeros.
We gotta do a lot of sessions to make $1 billion. Do we have enough time?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, we are gonna be living longer. Okay.
Well, and that yeah. Yeah, we are gonna be living longer. That's a part of the whole ascension thing, is getting back to where we're living long enough to actually learn and grow and get somewhere. It's like,
Mhm.
we wake up, we're like, "Okay," we go through life, we get the knocks, we're like, "Okay, we're waking up. Oh, crap, I'm dead again." You know? It's
I know. That's going bye-bye, though. That's
yeah,
going bye-bye. That's why we're
very
here.
good.
Alrighty.
Awesome, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Let's all take a nice deep breath together. Let's just breathe in and breathe out and just feel that love of this beautiful community. Ah, it's so beautiful. And then we'll see you guys next Thursday, 4 p.m. Pacific time. And make sure that, if you need anything, we always welcome your comments in the, down below when you're watching it later too. Or, watching it live, want to make a comment, feel free to, and we check back as well. So make sure you guys are good to go.
We do.
So,
Give us your thoughts on what we talk about always.
yeah. And if you have something you want us to talk about, let us know,
Or if you wanna be
because
on the show,
sometimes, yeah.
share. Share something that's really cool
Yeah,
and
we
and
love that
profound and yeah.
because Sharon and I both been teaching for so long. Sometimes we forget about some of the stuff, So bring it on. Let us know what you guys want to talk about.
Alrighty.
Love you guys.
Bye.
Mwah.
Mwah.